first time the mohawk come around, Veron told me if I would get a mohawk, he would give me $1,000 cash, non-traceable. And I could spend it however I wanted to. And I said, well, do I have to do it today? And he said, if you get a mohawk, you can get it anytime you want to. He didn't think I would, but I do. So now he's went and died, owing me $1,000. Because I got one. Julian Ashe is what I called him. He's got about 8 different names. I think I can never remember all of them. But as I reflect about him, I reflect about how comical he was, what an inspiration he was, how even though he was a young man, he was an old man in a young man's body. And about 18 years ago we met, and he was my firstborn spiritual son, and I feel like I poured everything into him that I possibly could. And even though we went to different places, we still kept in touch. And I loved him dearly. Nobody loved life and living more than Veron. Veron loved living. He didn't want to miss nothing. He couldn't he would never take a nap because he was afraid he was going to miss something when I was around. He wouldn't sleep. He lived life in his own terms. And he had a relationship with God which most people would not understand. Therefore, I can say to the people, and I can say to the body of Christ, and I can say to all of creation, that Veron and God would have had to have negotiated a deal, because Veron would have never left at this age unless God offered him something better, because he liked life more than me. He taught me how to live again after my daughter passed. He taught me. I believe that there was an invitation for Veron to sow himself. And I believe he accepted the invitation, and I believe he's passed now, no longer in the physical, but closer than our breath. So I don't want to offend anybody or anything like that, and you have your own opinions, but for me, I believe Veron made a choice. I believe he deposited himself on purpose. Jesus said, no man takes my life, I lay it down. I believe that God gave Veron an opportunity to become a seed for the next move of God, and I believe Veron accepted. Veron passed with purpose, and as we legally release him February the 10th, I'll prophesy and I decree and declare that God's going to honor him, God's going to honor his heritage, and there will begin to be a harvest called the Melchizedek priesthood, the manifested sons of God, and it'll be marked by several miracles, and you'll begin to see creation react to that February the 10th. As we legally deposit him, you'll be able to see creation react in a most unusual way to the deposit of the seed, which I'll call Veron. I'm going to miss him horribly, but I do know that he's in that great cloud of witnesses and that he's encouraging us as we press on. God bless you, Veron. I love you. I appreciate you. I love you more than a biological mother would love you, and I'm going to miss you. But you go on and move on and help me finish my work, okay?
There are mysteries, and they belong to those who press into it. If they're for everybody, but only few of us want to pay the price to move into that level. All of us are called to be 100-fold, but most of us are too lazy to move beyond what is convenient into what is covenant.